Joining me now on the show is Kinneret Stern, her cousin Moran Yanai, who's 40 years old and a jewelry designer, was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists from the Nova Music Festival. Kinneret now joins us from Israel to talk about the horror that unfolded in Israel on Saturday. The nightmare is far from over for the family. Kinneret, first and foremost, thank you so much for talking to us at an impossibly difficult time for your family. We really appreciate you doing this. It's very brave of you. Can you please tell us, Kinneret, what happened to Moran? What information do you have so far? What happened that day?
So officially, we don't really know any updates lately about Moran, but what we do know is that Moran was taking part of the Nova Festival. She presented her jewelry during the festival. She was very anxious to do so. That was her first time that that her dream was coming true. And unfortunately, at this horrible Saturday morning, she was attacked by the terrorists. She and some other friend tried to escape. She called her parents and told them that they've been trying to escape, trying to run by a car. She don't have enough battery, so don't worry, we are on our way out. Unfortunately, some terrorists caught them, and this group split. All other friends came back to Israel, and they told us that the last time they saw her was around 9 a.m. Unfortunately, we found a TikTok video on the web in which you can see Moran sitting on the ground, praying for her life, praying, asking the terrorists not to do anything to her. And that's it. That's all we have so far. No one really knows where she is, what happened to her. She defined as we know that she was kidnapped, but we don't really know where she is held at the moment. And we are devastating. We are shattered. We don't know what to do. It's like the world is freezed for us. It's freezed for Moran. And we're asking the world not to be silent at this moment. We're asking the world to do something. Today, it's on our country. Today, it's my cousin. Tomorrow, it's on your yard. Tomorrow, it's on your personal faith. We cannot be silent to those horrible actions. We cannot be silent to innocent citizens, children, women, elders captured by these evils, by those animals. We demand they will be free immediately with no conditions at all.
You know, it's impossible for the rest of the world to imagine what Moran and your family are going through right now. But I want to ask you, Kinneret, you mentioned that Moran made a phone call to her family after the attacks had started. She was trying to escape. She was with a group of friends. She was hoping she would manage to escape, but she got captured. Can you tell us once again a little bit about that last phone call, who she made it to, and what exactly she said in that phone call?
Okay, so she called her parents. She told them there's some shooting around, and there's missiles attack at the south of Israel. We usually familiar with. It's hard to say, but we familiar with some missiles attack. She with some friends, they're trying to escape by car. she was sound scared but still optimistic. She kept talking about not having enough battery, so she didn't want her family to be worried. At first, we believed that she's somewhere there hiding, trying to avoid the terrorists. But once we've got the video, we have no doubts anymore that she's held out there with those animals.
This is just so scary. Not having any information about where she is, what state she may be in. No information whatsoever. Have you heard anything at all from the Israeli government?
Not yet. As far as I know, we don't have any new information, and no one talked to us until this moment. We're waiting for some information. I believe in the Israeli army. I believe they will do whatever they can in order to get some information about her and to escape them. But still, it's not only us, it's the whole world who should not be silent to this horrible situation. And we demand, again, the world to take an action, to release all innocent citizens captured by those terrorists, by Hamas.
Did Moran, by any chance, say anything to her parents in that phone call about people being killed? Because that Nova Music Festival turned out to be one of the worst sites of those chilling terror attacks. We are told more than 250 people were butchered at that one site alone. The terrorists came to kill, they didn't want to spare anyone. Did she, by any chance, talk about people being killed in front of her?
No, she didn't. I don't think she really understands how huge was this terrorist attack was. She was focusing on herself. She was focusing on her family, not to be worried about her. She was focusing, running away from this horrible situation, basically. I think no one really understand at the beginning what's going on there. It was a chaotic situation. No one can even imagine what's going on at the moment.
And you said, Kinneret, that she was running with some friends. They managed to escape and returned while she got captured. What have the friends told you and the family and the parents? Can you share that with us?
What we know from them is that they tackled a group of terrorists, and they just left the car. Each one ran to a different direction, and unfortunately, it was a bad luck for Moran running in the wrong direction. I assume that's what happened, but we don't know in details. They don't even know in details what happened to her.
She happened to run in the wrong direction and got stuck. You mentioned that Tik Tok video. I mean, that must have been absolutely heartbreaking for the family. Can you describe in some detail, Kinneret, that Tik Tok video for our viewers? When did you see it? How did you come across that video? And once again, if you could describe what you saw in that video.
The moment we understand Moran is missing, the whole family gathered together and we try to find out some details about Moran. Some of us were looking at the hospital. Some of us were looking through friend to find some evidence what happened to her, and some of us just scanned the web looking for some videos, for some clues. And one of the cousins found out the video in TikTok. In this video, you can see clearly Moran sitting down. You can recognize her by the jewelry she was wearing, her jewelries, sitting on the ground, praying for her life. And the Hamas terrorist yelling at her, saying something like, we captured a Jewish Jew, we're waiting for some more, or something like that. I'm not really familiar with the Arabic language, so I'm not sure what exactly was words, but it was very scary situation. The moment her mother and father, their parents saw this video, they are shattered. They cannot do anything. The life we used to know is no longer going to be the same for none of us, but especially I assume for Moran as well. I believe that she's strong. I believe in her. I believe that her goodness and her goodness, and she believed in good. She believed in the good of people. She always looked on the bright side of life. So I pray and I hope that even in this darkest moment, she will find the light. She will find her strength. She will be strong enough to survive those horrible moments, and she will come back to us. I believe she will come back to us, but we need your help. We need you all to be with us and demand Hamas to release them all immediately.
Believe me, Kinneret, the whole world is praying for the safe return of all these hostages, including your cousin. The whole world is so shocked and horrified. But our prayers are with you, are with all the victims, their families, the hostages and their families. This is a very difficult situation. If I could ask you one more question about that disturbing TikTok video, because that was the confirmation for you that she had indeed been kidnapped. You said even though you did not understand a lot of the things that those terrorists were saying because they were speaking in Arabic, but it looked like they were yelling at her, and she looked scared and she was begging for her life. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that? Could you understand anything that those terrorists were saying to her? Did they issue any threat to her?
I think they, okay, so they were yelling at her. I think there was even a gun pointing to her. She seems scared, but yet she seems strong. She seems scared. Sorry, she seems scared and begging for her life, but she was strong. She was the she looked healthy. She didn't they didn't harm her. So that's very confirming, but yet you can only imagine what is going on at this specific situation. The vibes you get from this video are very, very, very scary. Okay, that's the vibe you get. But yet we don't see any offend active or they didn't hit her or something like that. I have to be honest that the video is not something that is aggressive, but yet it is a very, very scary situation. And we all have our imagination, and we all seen the latest pictures on the web, and we're trying to avoid such of kind thoughts. And we hope that they kept her alive and healthy, thinking that they will get what they want if she will be healthy and in a good condition. So definitely believe that's the case at the moment.
Kinneret, I hate to say this and ask you this, but I have to. These Hamas terrorists have threatened to execute the hostages if the bombings don't stop or come without warning. Today, Hamas issued a statement claiming there is no independent confirmation. It is their claim that 13 hostages were killed in Israeli airstrikes. Now, obviously, that makes an already nightmarish situation so much worse for the families, for the loved ones of these hostages. I mean, I can't imagine how you would even react to these reports. What goes through your head every time you come across something like this?
Indeed, it is a very difficult question. I'm not a political person, and I'm not a military person, and I don't want to be in their shoes at the moment. It's very difficult decision to take. I'm only care about my cousin and the others. I want them to come back. And I believe that the Israeli government and I believe the army will do the most they can in order to keep them safe and to do whatever they can to free them.
Kinneret, okay. Earlier I spoke to two sisters whose children and mother have all been captured by Hamas. And one of them said that if it is necessary for Israel to even stop the bombardments to bring our loved ones back home, then they should do that. What would you say to the Israeli government? Of course, there is no information right now about Moran, about any of these hostages. What would you say to the Israeli government at this point in time?
It's difficult. It's very difficult to say such a statement. Again, I'm familiar. I have friends at the military, and I know they will do whatever is needed to keep the Israeli citizen safe, either if they are held by Hamas or living in the Israeli settlements or in the Israeli area. I believe in them. I believe they will do the right thing, and I don't want to advise them. I don't want to be in their shoes. I don't want to advise them. It's very difficult situation, and I believe that we have the the ability to free them. I believe that they have the intelligence they need in order to do what they need to do and not harmed any hostage or kidnap. We need to remember that this political situation is not new to us, and Hamas is well known by threatening the Israeli citizen for many years. We are strong. That's what I want to say. We are strong. We want our family to get together, and we believe in Israel. We believe in our army and our government. We believe that they will do whatever they need to keep us safe.
Kinneret, could you share with us what state Moran's parents are in right now?
They are shattered. They are shattered. They can't sleep. They can't eat. They barely talk to anyone. We are all trying to support them, to help them, but honestly, we live in a nightmare, and we can't wake up from it for almost a week. It's impossible to imagine this horrible situation. It's impossible to understand what's going through a family that held at this unknown situation.
Kinneret, my final question to you. There are so many families like yours who are suffering and, like you said, living a nightmare right now, all waiting for their loved ones to return home safely. Have these families reached out to each other? Are you in touch with each other, offering support and comfort to each other in this difficult hour, especially given that there is no information about your loved ones?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we do have a we do have a gathering. There is an organization for all those family who don't know where their loved ones are. Some of them knows that they were kidnapped. Some of them are still missing, but we are all together trying to support each other mentally and strategically, what we are going to do and what we think is the best for our loved ones. Since we a huge group of families, we cannot agree on one line on what we say, on what we demand from the world and the government. But one thing is known, that we want them back. We want them back immediately with no conditions, and we believe it will happen. We hope, we pray it will happen.
Trust me, that's what we are hoping and praying for too, Kinneret. The entire world is praying for all of you and your loved ones right now here in India. Too, I can tell you that our thoughts and prayers are with all of you, and we just hope that this nightmare ends very, very soon and your loved ones return to you safely at the earliest. On that note, Kinneret, once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us and sharing this very difficult story with us. Thank you.
Thank you.